In a village, a bailiff comes by to collect some debt. And there was this household in that village. You had the father, mother, and 14 children. Yes, they've been having a lot of kids since they were young. And the father of that household passes away, due to some sickness. Very tragic. The bailiff, however, the day after the burial, after they buried the man, the bailiff was there and telling them, you need to pay 450 pieces of silver or else you'll be evicted from your home and your farmland will be confiscated by the governor. So, the family now was in distress. The sons and daughters had not enough to pay the 400 pieces of silver. One piece of silver, just a silver coin. A silver coin was 1 day working. And they had to pay within 20 days. So now they were under stress. One of the sons of that family tried to get a loan at the local bank. He was able to because he was working in the harbor. But the bank didn't have any money to loan him. The bank told him there isn't enough silver in this province. And when the son heard that, he asked for further explanation, but the employee was not allowed to give it to him. So, when he walked away, a Chinese businessman, because in that region the Chinese were the businessmen, a Chinese businessman told him, young man, you were asking about the silver in this province, right? And he said, yeah. Well, it works like this. 20 years ago, the emperor decided that the silver supply had to be handed in. Instead, copper coins had to be used as a currency. Ever since then, 80% of the silver coins were returned to the capital and they were molten into other objects. And those objects are in the imperial palace. There are silver coins in circulation, but not enough. And then the son of the deceased man asked, sir, how many silver coins are there in this province? The Chinese man told him, there are about 8,000 people in this province, and there are only around 700 silver coins around here. Most other coins are just debased copper. So not even real copper. And then the young man asked, 600 silver coins only? And then Chinese man said, yeah, only around 600, maybe even less. And then the young man told him, because there's this bailiff that comes by, and a month has to pay him 400 silver coins. And the Chinese man looked at him and said, huh, a bailiff? Young man, you do know that bailiffs are not permitted to operate in this province anymore, right? Due to an imperial decree by the emperor 10 years ago, bailiffs were banned. All debts had to be handled by the governor in line with the regulations by the priests. Bailiffs are only permitted in the urban areas. And even then, they have stern restrictions they're subjected onto. Every bailiff must be registered at Imperial Palace. Anyone that acts as the bailiff without being registered at the Imperial Palace, they are in big trouble. So when you heard this, you were thinking, I didn't know any of this. So the Chinese man told them, young man, that bailiff that asked you 400 silver coins. First of all, there are only maybe 600 in circulation in this area. And what is it about? The young man explained, my father passed away. We have a farm and a house in a village nearby, and my father had some debt. And the Chinese man asked, how many years ago was that? He loaned around 100 silver coins when he started his farm 30 years ago. He must have paid it off by now, but the bailiff said we need to pay for 100 silver coins. And you know what the Chinese man told him? Young man, it's a scam. You are being lied to. First of all, copper coins are the rule in this province. Silver coins are rarely used, so how can he ask 400 silver coins from you? You need to report this as soon as possible. And what did they find out? It was a scammer indeed, who scammed many farmers into paying money they didn't owe. He even went to sanctuaries and scammed some of the religious people. This scammer built a fortune in scamming folks, and he used fear as a tactic. Now, you may guess which Asian country this relates to, if you want, this parable, but I'm using it to explain something to you. When the enemy comes to kill, steal, and destroy, he will, let me say, if he wants to do it quickly and swiftly, he will always come at your weakest moment. For example, in that parable, they just lost their dad. And the alleged debt collector didn't even care that they lost their father. He wanted to see the money. And if that young man did not ask the right questions at the bank, he would not have encountered his Chinese businessman who would have explained the situation to him. And if that wouldn't have happened, they would have lost their home, ended up homeless, and the farm would have been sold to someone else for a price way too high, and a scammer would be gone with the cash. When the enemy wants to take you out swiftly, he comes with a covert accusation. That covert accusation is the debt that you owe, quote unquote. It can be that accusation is that you are not good enough, or that you're not doing your best enough, or that you should do better. I don't care what the accusation is. The enemy comes with an accusation. You're charged. Just like a debt collector will charge you. But then you go to the Holy Spirit. You're in prayer. And the Holy Spirit reveals unto you, who charged you? If Christ paid it all, you're under the blood of the Lamb, how can you be charged? And I realized, hold on a minute, indeed, I can't be charged. It was an evil spirit tricking you into self-destruction. And evil spirits do these kind of things all the time, using covert accusations to trick people. And the evil spirits will use people close to you to charge you. It can be that someone suddenly cut you off on Facebook, just like that, and you're talking about it to someone you know, and the demon suddenly speaks to the individual and says, well, maybe you post disturbing material, and that's why they moved away. So the evil spirit, through that other individual, the individual is not aware that an evil spirit just used him or just used her. The evil spirit accuses you of disturbing others with disturbing material. So now you're going to think, which material did I disturb people with? So now you're going to ask yourself about what it is. But there's the thing. You didn't share any disturbing material at all. It's a hoax. But because you want answers, you're in a vulnerable state. Someone just treated you wrong, treated you like trash. Now that you're in a vulnerable state, the evil spirit comes with the accusation, because it's now that the evil spirit can sow it into your mind. And if you're not careful Without you being aware of it, you nurture this seed and it will grow into self-doubt, and that will open doors to danger, violence, all kinds of other stuff. That's why everyone you are in contact with, examine what they're saying to you. Because if they have opened doors to evil spirits, then be sure that once in a while evil spirits will use them to sow doubt or sow any type of wrong thinking into you. And here's the thing, it doesn't matter whether you're aware of it or not, or whether they can help it or not. Danger is danger. And here's the thing, if they are the type of people that they realize that they said something to you that doesn't add up, but they don't know why they said it, if they're the type of folks that want you to forget about it so that they're at ease, they don't want to face themselves, because they should face themselves and eventually realize that they have open doors and they need deliverance. But to acknowledge you need deliverance means you need to acknowledge Christ. And if they don't want to go that way, and an evil spirit just use them against you, and they don't want to face it, then you need to face that individual is not right for you to be in contact with. Okay, let's say it like this. If someone carries a bag, and a terrorist who's about to commit a terrorist attack decided to put a bomb in their bag, an individual is walking with you entering a mall. The terrorist did this so that when that friend of yours enters the mall, the bomb will go off. But let's say you have someone now who feels that the bag is heavy, while the bag should be light, but instead of checking the bag why the bag is heavy, they ignore it. They don't want to be bothered. Okay, so what if someone is framing you for theft? You're leaving a store, and while you're leaving the store, they put some stolen goods in your bag. You're not going to check the bag to ask why is my bag so heavy. You're just going to walk with it. Well, you have folks like that spiritually. They don't want to face anything, just want to be left alone. So if they say something to you that really doesn't add up and you call them to an account for it, if they realize that it wasn't them saying it, but it still came through their body, they should realize, I need help. If they don't want to face that, then they're not safe people to be with. Sometimes when you confront them and realize that it wasn't them saying it, but there was something speaking through them, they'll project this right onto you and pretend as if you're the one that's possessed, as if you're the one with an issue, because they don't want to face anything. Be aware of this scam. Agree with Christ and be at peace.